and I really give the floor to Danny. Please, if you can start sharing, so we can confirm we can see your screen and everything is okay.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. And let's see if you can also see the sharing. Yes, you should see my pie chart and hopefully my browser.
Danny, can you wait for a little bit?
Yes, of course.
We're setting up so that we can see it in the. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I think we can see.
Yes.
Yes, and it's switching between my windows. Okay, awesome. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Danny from Chocolate Cloud, and I'm here to deliver the magic. In this demo, I will show you how we plan to integrate Rescale into our development workflow. First, I will show you the local development environment in one of our microservices. I will run the static and dynamic analysis in dry run mode, so the results will not be uploaded to the Rescale backend. And then we will simulate a release process. First, I will create a new component in the Rescale dashboard, and then I will run the static and dynamic analysis in our Bitbucket CI pipeline, and the resulting SSCG and DSCG documents will be uploaded to the Rescale backend and combined into a T-bomb. So let's see. This is my PyCharm, and let's say I'm working on the migration service. This is the code for our microservice, and I'm working on a new feature. I have a few code changes, and I think I'm ready to push these changes. First, I will run the static analysis to see if I introduced anything bad here. So
Danny,
I have.
Danny, could you make maybe I have the resolution a bit lower because it's very small in on our projector, or increase the fonts of your environment? Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly more, if you can, be great. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm running this script, this batch file, and it's a Docker run. It runs the static analysis module, which is downloaded from the Rescale Harbor container registry. And I have a few parameters passed as environment variables here. For example, dry run true, it means the resulting SSCG will not be uploaded to the Rescale backend. I'm passing the SBOM JSON here as path, and it's also mounted into the container. I'm passing the source path here, and the language info is Python. It means it tells the static analysis module to run the static analyzer tools for Python. I also mount an output folder so I can check the results later. We can see the static analysis module ran successfully, and let's open the output. This is the SSCG. It's a JSON file. And in the metadata, we can see that it was running for this Skyflock migration service. This is my current version. The tool that produced this SSCG is the Rescale SSCG generator, and using the Rescale static code analysis module. We have a few claims here. This SSCG says that the test suite results bearer found something, the bandit found something, and so on. And we also have our vulnerabilities listed here. I have 36 vulnerabilities in my code. And let's try to search for high severity. I have one high severity vulnerability here. Let's say what it is. Possible vulnerability detected, hard-coded password. And it also says it's in my main.py, and the start line is 52. So let's open my main.py and scroll to 52. Oops, I really am leaking my password here. So let's try to fix it real quick. And try to run the static analysis again. It is running the SASTER tool. It is a command line tool that combines multiple third-party open source static analyzers under the hood, like Bandit, Horusec, SemGrep, and Bearer. In a few moments, it will succeed. And we will check out the updated output. All right, it succeeded. And let's open the SSEG again. I have 34 vulnerabilities now, so and no high vulnerability. Let's search for medium, no medium, no low severity. I have some info severities and some unknown severity vulnerabilities. So let's say I'm good, I'm satisfied with this, and let's run the dynamic analysis. The dynamic analysis needs a running service instance. So I have it already running in Docker Compose. In Docker, I have a Docker Compose file here that runs the migration service and MySQL database for this service. And I can now start the dynamic analysis. And while it is running, let's see what's inside this batch file. It's two Docker run commands now. The first runs evomaster, which is a REST API fuzzer. It connects to my running service on this URL and downloads the OpenAPI specification and tests these endpoints that are listed here. The second Docker run runs the DSCG generator, and it gets all the output from the evomaster and produces a DSCG from this. evomaster completed successfully, and also the DSCG generator succeeded. So let's open the output folder, and in the DSCG generator folder we can find the DSCG JSON, and it says the target is a dry run. It says a dry run placeholder because I'm running it in dry run mode. The evidence is we have some faulty endpoints, and in the vulnerabilities, we can see that my report degraded write endpoint has potential faults. I know this is false positive, so I'm fine with this. So let's say I'm good. Let's release this piece of software. Let's go to the Rescale dashboard. This is the Rescale dashboard. My components would be listed here, but I don't have any yet. So let's create a new one. This will be the Skyflock migration service. It's a software component, and I could add a description here. This is my component created, but it doesn't have any document yet. So to start the process, I need an access token. The dashboard created one for me, and I have to copy this access token to my Bitbucket pipelines, and I will store it as a repository variable here. Now we are ready to run this pipeline. I will trigger it manually. I will run it on the Rescale test branch, and I will run the Rescale static pipeline. While it is starting and running, let's see what's inside. This is my Bitbucket pipelines YAML file. This is the configuration file for the Bitbucket CI. I have a few workflows defined here, and we are interested in this Rescale static analysis one here. First, it initializes and updates our submodule for this repository. Then I install the cyclone-dx bomb Python package, and using this package, I generate an SBOM. This library parses my requirements.txt file for dependencies, and also my PyProject TOML file for metadata like the component name and version, and outputs an SBOM JSON for me. Then I have two Python scripts. The first one adds a PURL to this component to the SBOM JSON, and the second one adds an in-house dependency that is not declared in the requirements.txt. So we have to add it manually to this SBOM JSON. The next step is to log into the Rescale Harbor container registry. I log in using the username and password that are provided as the pipeline secrets. Then we reconstruct a certificate file. It is stored again as a pipeline secret in environment variable, and we reconstruct it and save it as a file that can be then passed to the static analysis module. The last step is to run the Docker run command. It runs the static analysis module, a few environment variables here, and a few differences from my local run. There's no dry run defined, so the resulting SSCG will be uploaded to the Rescale backend, and the certificate file and password is passed here, so the resulting documents will be signed using this certificate. And I'm passing the out token that I copied from the dashboard, and the static analysis module uses this token to communicate with the Rescale backend. Finally, I upload the SBOM SSCG and test report files as artifacts, so I can download them later. Let's go back to my pipeline run, and it succeeded. We can see the artifacts here. I could download them from here, but let's go back to the Rescale dashboard, and if I hit refresh, we can see I have an SSCG here. I can view the SBOM. These are my dependencies. For example, this service depends on FastAPI with this specific version, and so on. I can also inspect the SSCG, and we can see that I have 34 vulnerabilities, 11 with info, severity, and others with unknown. Okay, let's proceed with the dynamic analysis. I will trigger it again manually on the Rescale test branch and Rescale dynamic analysis. It's starting now. So let's see what we need to run the dynamic analysis in Bitbucket. This is the step we are interested in. First, we installed the Docker Compose. We needed to run the service and the MySQL database alongside. Again, I'm installing and updating the submodule. Then I'm building the migration service container manually and starting it using Docker Compose. It starts the migration service and the MySQL database. After that, I'm logging in to the Rescale hardware container registry. The next step is to install the requests Python package. This pipeline step needs this package because I have a small script that contacts the Rescale backend, passes the component name and version, and gets back the latest SSEG UID for this component version. And I store this SSEG UID in an environment variable that I can pass to the next containers. Then I run evomaster similarly as before. It connects to this URL. It's running in Bitbucket now, so we need the Bitbucket URL, Bitbucket specific URL. Then I reconstruct the certificate file from environment variable to a file, and that certificate is passed to the DSCG generator too, so the DSCG JSON can be signed. Again, no dry run is passed here, so the results will be uploaded to the Rescale backend. And I'm also uploading the tool outputs and the DSCG as artifacts to Bitbucket, so a developer can download them from the Bitbucket pipeline run. Let's see what's happening in my pipeline. It is running evomaster currently, so we have to wait a bit more. So you can think about this as a step in our CI/CD pipeline. When I'm happy with my feature and I create a pull request, we can run the static and dynamic analysis. And if those fail, we can set some thresholds, how many vulnerabilities we let pass through. If it fails, then the merge can be stopped. These vulnerabilities can be fixed. And if we are happy, the results can be uploaded, T-bomb can be created, and we can deploy this service version. It is now running the DSCG generator. So in a few moments, we should see a green light here.
Danny, while we're waiting for it to complete, can I interject just a little bit? We
Yes,
said
please.
that the user, the producer and the consumer usually is a different entity. In this case, Danny from Chocolate Cloud is doing both the producer and the consumer, which is not disallowed by the platform, but that can create, this kind of lower trust, level of trust of T-bombs. I mean, someone can, it's like a self-signed certificate. I do the static and the dynamic analysis. Someone else can also do dynamic analysis and verify the results that I have done. That's it, just for the context for the previous discussions.
Yeah. And to increase the trust of this T-bomb, of this component version, some other entity can do another dynamic analysis, and it would increase the trust of this T-bomb. Yeah, my pipeline succeeded. And let's go back to the Rescale dashboard. And if I hit refresh, I can see we have a DSCG available. It's here. I have 16 unknown vulnerabilities. But the more interesting thing is the T-bomb. We have a T-bomb now. This is the T-bomb details page. And we can see I have 9 high and 12 medium vulnerabilities. These are coming from my dependencies. We have a dependency graph that lists my dependencies, and I can also download all the reports from here as well as SSCG, DSCG. But now let's open the vulnerability report. This is what describes the vulnerabilities coming from my dependencies. So let's say one of my vulnerable dependencies is Starlet, and here's a specific CVE ID description here. This is one of the high severity vulnerabilities in my dependencies. So I could go back to my repository and update my dependencies, and it would fix these vulnerabilities. And I can do a new static and dynamic analysis, which would result in a new T-bomb, hopefully without vulnerabilities. So to recap, this is a demonstration of how we plan to integrate Rescale into our development workflow. First, I did a static and dynamic analysis on one of our Skyflock microservices. I did this in dry run. So while we are in the development process, we can iterate through without uploading the resulting DSCG, SSCG to the Rescale backend. And then I simulated a release cycle. First, I created a new component in the Rescale dashboard and did the static and dynamic analysis in Bitbucket CI pipeline. And this resulted in a T-bomb being saved to the Rescale backend. That is all for me.